This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm excited. Welcome to Chicago. You tune into the TCSF podcast with Big Z in the house. We got JC, Dynasty Fantasy Football, and we're coming straight to you from the 606 Media Studios, powered by True Chicago Sports Fans. This is episode 279, Chicago Bears, King of the North. And we're going to dive into everything that makes Chicago great, which is our Chicago sports teams. Remember, check out 606 Media, your ultimate source for all things Chicago. Go over there and check out the official TCSF podcast t-shirt. You can check out our exclusive line for the love of sports. We got some No Water on the Weekend stuff from the other podcast. You can watch all the conversations we have here. They're all stored on there, so you can just find everything in one location. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, whatever, we on Twitch, on Instagram today, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that 5-star button on your favorite podcast app. Leave some kind words. It shoots us up on the charts, and it means the world to us. It doesn't cost you anything. But if you want to spend some coin, I'm going to drop the link in the description at anchor.fm/True Chicago Sports Fans. And as little as 99 cents a month keeps the conversation going, and it helps your boys out. Well, let's strap it in. Let's get ready for an unforgettable ride through the Chicago city sports culture and beyond. Let's get started with our Chicago Bears, who are in first place in the North, second place in the NFC, locked in a playoff seed, and we'll be playing in the postseason. We were 4 wins last year. We got 4 losses this year. It has been a phenomenal way to turn it around, all because of Ben Johnson. So last Saturday night, we were at Casa Humilde, and the Bears pulled off an incredible 22-16 overtime win over the Green Bay Packers, rallying back from 10 in the fourth quarter because not rookie. He's not a rookie anymore. Second-year quarterback Caleb Williams hit DJ Moore for a 46-yard touchdown in overtime to seal it. It was the fourth quarter to get into overtime, and then he had what's his name? What's the new kid's name, JC?
Jahdae Walker.
Yeah, Jahdae Walker. And we just saw him in preseason and at camp, and we saw he had talent, but he was wide open on the right side of the end zone and caught that beautiful pass. So that comeback culture is we're the heart attack Bears, JC.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. I'm not trying to be negative here, but you can't always put your hopes and dreams on an onside kick recovery and a miracle 46-yard pass with a DB hanging all over you. I understand, it was a touchdown, but I didn't see any yellow flags out there for pass interference on that play either. While the guy was draped all over DJ Moore.
Oh, there was a flag for that one.
Was there? Okay.
Yeah, it was a late flag.
Maybe I was jumping up and down way too much to notice the yellow flag. But it's one of those where, it was definitely a touchdown. You're sitting there watching, and then as he rolls over, he lets the ball go, and it's like, hell yes, we pulled it off. A lot of criticism from the Green Bay fans. Dirty plays, this, that, there was a supposed
tip for tat.
There was a supposed hold on the final 46-yard touchdown.
There's a hold on every play.
Yes, and that's the thing is, like, I understand, it's blatantly obvious that the jersey was being pulled, but the bottom line is, like, how many plays did we watch during the game that I saw blatantly that the Green Bay Packers were holding? And it's one of those where it's like, dude, you can only call holding so many times. Like, you can call holding on every single play.
Yeah, you can.
So you got to move on. The bottom line is, yes, your quarterback got knocked out. You played with a second string quarterback who
was moving the ball.
Yeah. And I literally said to you and Ivan that, he was running an RPO offense. However, he was outplaying Caleb up into the last 2 to 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, Malik Willis was 9 for 11 for 121 and a touchdown. Jordan Love was 8 for 13 for 77, 0 touchdowns. So Caleb ended up with 19 for 34, 250 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, the kid came in and balled out.
Yeah.
We struggle against quarterbacks that are mobile.
Yeah, let's be honest. You know, I again, we're not going to apologize for a win. A win is a win. We will take it. However, there's a lot of things that need to be cleaned up. If we are a quote unquote playoff team, there's a lot of work still yet to be done.
Yeah, definitely a lot of work, especially because we didn't score in the first quarter. We didn't score in the second quarter. So that was our first half with 0 points, and they had 6. Second quarter, we came out 3-7. We're losing against them. We're down 13-3. And then we scored 13 in the fourth. They scored 3. We go to overtime. We get that touchdown. But it should not have been this close. Again, this was a game where we were talking about every single week, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. We seen what Swift and one guy were doing. They were averaging 4.5 and 5.6 respectively, and 22 carries between them. I need more carries from them, just so you can hold on to the ball, time of possession, and keep it away from Jordan Love, which would have made a bigger difference, in my opinion. I know that RPO plays off of that. I mean, RPO play action does, but we need to run the ball a little bit better in order to get the pass game going.
Yeah, and we started doing that in the fourth quarter. You know, the first half and into the third quarter, we were trying to run the ball through the A gap, up the gut, right? Then all of a sudden in the fourth quarter, they started doing like the pitch option stuff to like the B and C gap with, you know, basically, you know, Darnell Wright sealing the edge, and they're able to take it outside. That is like, if you watch all the games where we have had success of running the ball, it is to the right with Darnell Wright sealing that edge or sealing a hole in general or creating a massive hole. And there are statistics out there on X that the success of the Bears running is to the right behind Darnell Wright. And let's be honest, we see it. All right. That said, there is something, and I keep saying it week after week after week, there is something wrong with our passing game. You know, we saw it just against the Packers this week. First quarter, not very much going on with our passing game. Second quarter, not very much going on with our passing game. Yes, I understand we're missing Romo Dunze. Yes, I understand we're missing Luther Burden. But you know what? There are other quarterbacks out there that, you know, are doing more with less in the way of talents. You know, we still have Cole Kmet. We still have Loveland. We still have DJ Moore. You know, I keep saying, you know, name me a wide receiver in the Patriots offense other than Stephon Diggs. Name me anybody.
Don't know anybody.
Exactly. But yet Drake May is still putting on week after week. And yes, you know, they have a great running game as well. But the bottom line is that there is quarterback play right now happening in the NFL. And I keep looking at the talent, and it's like, how are we not averaging 300 yards per game passing? How is Caleb not at, say, 28 for 34 or 26 of 34? You know, don't get me wrong. We saw just against the Packers, OZ had 2 or 3 drops, right? Literally watched a first down pass hit him in the chest piece and ricochet off of his pads. You can't let the ball get to your pads.
No,
Learn to catch with your hands. Literally, if I were the coaching staff, OZ would be out there at the jugs machine 8 hours today catching balls from the jug machine. And just like, dude, you are going to learn to catch with your freaking hands today. Enough. You are a professional. Stop letting the ball get to your pads, and you consistently keep dropping balls.
Yeah, it seems to
Enough.
be a problem with the wide receivers. DJ Moore was 5 for 97 with 7 targets. Common Unguy was 3 for 43 with 4 targets. OZ was 2 for 33 with 5 targets. That means he dropped 3. Colston Loveland 3 for 30 with 4 targets. Jahdae Walker 2 for 3. We also had a touchdown. Cole Kmet 2 receptions, 3 targets. Where's this 12 personnel, this 13 personnel where we're going to use the tight ends? Where is that? Because that's be a lot more
They're
easier
using them
for.
as blockers and
Yeah,
chippers.
that's what they're doing. They're using them for blocking and chipping. Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Komet and Loveland this past game, they had plenty of action because, again, our wide receivers are hurt. But you saw in the Browns game that, I mean, they were constantly chipping Myles Garrett and helping out the offensive line. And you know what? Hey, Taripolo and Darnell Wright and these guys, hey, when you're going against a Myles Garrett, I don't blame them for giving a tight end, chipping duties. Give the guys all the help they can get.
Yeah, but you can still use them as they release. They're going to be open.
Yeah, but it's one of those where like you watch Ben Johnson's offense when he was in Detroit. He was never a short yardage tight end guy.
Yeah.
It was usually 10 to 15 yard passes for the tight ends. It was never like a check down kind of out route, stuff like that. He did a lot of that with the running backs, but his style of offense used tight ends as like a downfield threat, not so much as a check down.
Okay. I don't know. In my opinion, I still think that running the ball a little bit more. I think that they should be using the running backs. I mean the tight ends more in the flats, either to get them 5 and outs after they chip, or come over the linebacker or in front of the linebacker, something to give Caleb a release valve where, all right, my 1 and 2 and my 3 is not open. Let me just dump it off to Cole Kmet. Or hey, the linebackers went, they're playing way off. Cool, give it to Kmet. Give it to Love. Let those guys get the yak. And I've been saying, like, the lack of yak with these wide receivers has been a problem this entire season. They fall, they don't look, like you said, the ball gets to the pads and it bounces off. And now DJ Moore wasn't getting targeted. I mean, everything that's gone that can be wrong with the passing game has been going wrong with the passing game this entire season. And Ben Johnson has been fixing, he's been putting fingers in the hole in the of the boat, 1 week at a time, just plugging up different holes. And we're playing with house money, man. We're playing with house money. We did not expect to be here in year 1 of this rebuild. We've got a new coach. We've got a quarterback that's learning a new system. We've got a bunch of new pieces, new offensive line guys, and we're going to the playoffs. Who would have thunk that? A lot of the ESPN, and I'm gonna call them out, the ESPN radio station was talking so much trash prior to the game, saying Caleb's not the dude, and Caleb's trash, and you guys are gonna get another quarterback, and you guys are not gonna get in the playoffs because we're gonna beat you and kick you out. It's crickets up there in Milwaukee right now, ain't it?
Yeah, I mean, look, they were kind of right, weren't they? For 3 quarters.
Hey man, they're not right until the clock says 0-0-0.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna say this, and I know Ivan's not here today, but me and Ivan were talking, after the game, and we were basically saying like the Bears offense in the hurry up 2-minute offense looks phenomenal
because he doesn't have to think.
Right. But the Bears offense, when it's like, all right, let's slow it down. Let's go to the huddle. Let's, take our sweet time. Let the clock run down before we call hike, all this stuff. And it's like, it doesn't look polished. Like you're sitting there watching the game and it's like, where was this the whole game? Like, why are we not performing at this level that we are performing at the last 2 minutes in a no huddle offense? Like, it was just completion, 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 completion. And we are moving the ball down the field.
And when you're doing that, you're not allowing them to sub, which means they're going to get gassed out. Why are we not doing that at the end of the first, at the end of the second, at the end of the third, every
Look,
single
I'm not saying it should be constantly,
but at the end of every quarter, if you have the last possession,
this drive in the first quarter, or you know what I mean, you make the decision and say, hey, this drive, we're going no huddle the whole ride, like the whole ride.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And put the pressure on the defense, gas them out. Look, if you gas them out in quarter one, quarter two, guess what? By quarter four, they're going to be exhausted. And yes, don't get me wrong, you'll gas out your own players as well.
Right, but if you're doing it for a drive, sustainable drive, and you're driving down, those boys will be happily to be gassed out at the end of scoring a touchdown.
Yeah,
it goes away right away. It's being happy and stuff like that. So,
I do want to talk about one more thing. First quarter, the cutesy, why am I blanking on the wildcat formation? Where we snap the ball between Komet's legs to Manungai. Can we stop? I understand Ben Johnson.
Run the ball.
I understand you are a quote unquote, master manipulator of, cutesy plays. How about this? Chicago Bears football, get in an I formation, get a fullback out there and run it the frick into the end zone. Pound it into the end zone.
Absolutely. Stop getting cute. Just do what you're supposed to do in normal football. Let the big boys push. Have your running back pushing for 1 yard. You can get 1 yard with these guys.
Yes.
It's not that hard.
And I understand, like, today's NFL, they don't really use fullbacks anymore. But guess what? Throw Cole Kmet back there as your lead blocker and get it done. That's all you have to do. And I don't understand why. And I mean, I kind of do understand why, where in Detroit, that was David Montgomery's forte of punching it in. Mm-hmm. Here we have Kyle Manungai, who is a very powerful back, but he's still slightly undersized. Let's be honest. Mm-hmm. All right. So I don't know if Ben's just scared to give him the ball at the 2 yard line and let him pound it through. I don't know what's going on, but the bottom line is enough with the cute plays. Like, that nearly cost you the game. Take the points, put them on the board. Enough with, and I understand, like, when you're up 20-10, you want to throw in a cute play here and there where you're throwing it to your offensive lineman or Penei Sewell like you did in Detroit, whatever. But you were not up 10. This was the very first drive of the game. And at that point, you need to put points on the board. Establish points on the board.
Would you have been happy if they would have just kicked the ball?
A field goal?
Yeah, and they would have tied the game.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, look, we know Green Bay is going to be a tough matchup.
Yeah.
In those tough matchups, you have to take the points.
You take as many points as you can when you can get them.
4th and 1, even though it's on the 2 yard line. I understand, the mindset of Dan Campbell and that, offensive mindset of, we trust our guys to score the, listen, take the points. Because at halftime, when it was 6-0 or 13-0, it would have been nice to have 6 points on the board because we took the points. We would have been down 1 score.
Yep.
Instead, we had to rely on an onside kick and a whole bunch of other things to go perfectly right in order to win that game.
And again, I've been saying it all season. We've been playing with house money, and for all those things, for all those stars to line up, the onside kick and Cairo Santos getting all those kicks right at Soldier Field, and the 2-minute passing drive all the way down, everything's going right. but you
Yeah,
cannot
let's be
run
honest. Cairo Santos pulled a me at golfing. Okay, he aimed left to go right. Okay,
You had to. You see that wind? It was shaking those goalposts like this. It looked like a bunch of bobbleheads, man. It was gnarly, man. That wind was crazy. He was 3 for 3 with a long of 51. A long of 51, JC. Can't fire him yet.
that was risky. We talk about constantly, like in a slight breeze, they usually don't want to give him more than 48 yards. So that just tells you they were kind of desperate to put points on the board when they didn't decide to put points on the board earlier. That they in a windy game in Soldier Field, they let them kick 51 yards. Like that tells you they were a little desperate.
And again, all that's great, and we've literally broke down the offense. Great. On defense, we didn't get to the quarterback except for the Montez Sweat sack, right? And then the Austin Booker half a sack and knocking out of Jordan Love. But we really didn't get to the quarterback. We didn't really take any takeaways on the defensive side. No interceptions, right? That's part of the problem.
We had a couple fumble recoveries.
Right, but no interceptions.
I don't even like I don't think we forced the fumbles. They were just, again on the onside kick, and then couple, the botched snap in overtime.
Yeah. So it wasn't something.
So again, I don't know that we forced any fumbles, but we did have some fumble recoveries.
Right. Yeah, it was fumble recovery by Tremaine Edmonds. I'm sorry. That's the only one I got here. Forced fumble was Nahshon Wright. They counted as a forced fumble.
Okay.
But either way, as far as the takeaways from the secondary or the linebackers, as far as either rushing a quarterback or getting the interceptions that we're so used to, the takeaways, the 2, 3, 4 takeaways a game. We knew we couldn't do that every game. It's not sustainable. And this is a testament of that type of game when you don't have those as many takeaways and your offense struggles at the beginning again. You're going to be playing all the way to the last second, and in this case, overtime. So again, next week, the task does not get any easier. We're playing with San Francisco in San Francisco, and it's a Sunday night game. We are again going to be at Casa Humilde. JC is not coming because he's working. Boo.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have to line my pockets with some cash here and there. That's the story of life.
That's the story of life. 49ers are what's their record? I just had it up here.
They're up there. They're
I
think either a 9 or 10 win team.
They're 10-4.
Yeah.
And we're 11-4. So yeah, it's going to be a tough. And aren't they playing? Yeah, they're playing right now. They're up.
Yeah, they're playing right now.
13-13. So we're going to get them on a short week, which I think is great. We got an extra day of rest. They're going to have an extra day of travel and not resting and all that. So it might be the perfect storm to catch them at the right time. You're right there, JC. Yeah. You kind of froze. I'm like,
yeah, no, sorry. I was looking up the San Francisco game right now, just to see what they're doing. Look, San Francisco, they are a well coached team all the way around. Their defense is always a top defense. Their offense is always stacked. And San Francisco is operating without their best wide receiver in Brandon Ayuk, who has been out all season, who, is disgruntled and basically, it sounds like he's going to get cut in the offseason. But it doesn't matter because Brock Purdy is operating in it doesn't matter who you are. I'm going to pass the ball if you're open.
Yeah, Brock Purdy's the ultimate game manager, Mr. Irrelevant, 5 for 5 for 68 yards. He has a perfect rating. Christian McCaffrey has 5 for 26 rushing. Kittle has 2 for 38 with 2 targets, no touchdowns. Demarcus Robinson and McCaffrey both have a touchdown receiving. So, I mean, their offense isn't flashy, but it's very effective.
Yeah, and you got to give that to Kyle Shanahan, who, in my opinion, Sean McVay, Shanahan, 2 of the top 5 coaches in the NFL right now. and they get it done. You know, on the other end, Phillip Rivers, I mean,
Old man River.
44 years old, has been retired for I don't know how many years.
3 years, 3 or 4. No, wait. He's retired for 4.5 years because his insurance is about to run out.
Yeah, I saw that you know, they said he only came back so he could get health insurance again for another
5 more
5
years, yeah.
years. Because he's got 11 kids and health insurance would just crush him. I did see that. That was hilarious. Hey, you know what? Game the system, my dude.
Good for you. Good for you.
That said, you know, look, San Francisco is going to be an absolute nightmare of an opponent. But you know what? That's what the Bears need. You know what? We need to face these teams before we get to the playoffs so that we have an understanding of what the talent level and what these games are going to be like come playoffs. Because I mean, listen, even the Green Bay Packers game this week felt like a playoff game.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We felt that atmosphere at the bar at Casa Humilde where we were hanging out. It was a jam packed, and Ivan had his dad there, and I had a bunch of high school friends, and you brought some people over, and that table in the front, man, they were wild. Let me see. I think I got pictures, or you gave me some pictures. Look at these guys at the end. We were doing a post game. They came up and took a selfie with us. I think I don't know.
That's my boy John and Mike Lamb, two of my buddies from grade school.
There we go.
All the way through today. They're my boys. They were nice enough to come out and hang out with us and you know, show some love and support.
Oh man, I love it. I love it. And then we had some people that were winning. They were at that was that front table that won. And then this is the rest of the cast, rest of the guys that were there in front. They came out and they actually bought a bunch of gear. They kind of wiped us out. So JC, start making some more gear.
Actually, I am in the process of making some more hats today.
Yeah, you wiped us out. I think we have one hat left in the bin.
Yeah.
Let's see who else is here. Oh, this is someone took a picture of us all far away. Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
that photo was from my cousin who lives about a block and a half away from Casa Humilde. And he stopped by just to say hi as well. But he had to run because he needed to watch his kids, and his wife unfortunately was a little under the weather. So he ran out for like 15-20 minutes. I didn't get to talk to him very much because we were live on air for the halftime.
Yeah.
And then as soon as we got off, I went to go find him and he had already left. But yeah.
But again, a great time over there. I did put up a video.
Let me tell you, that bar erupted. And I use this as a like barometer. The Blackhawks, when we came back with 7 seconds left in against the Philadelphia Flyers,
right?
When Kane scored that last goal with 7 seconds left, I remember being at a bar and the craziness and the explosion of cheering. Like, that is what it felt like against this Packers team. I mean, it was just insane.
Yeah, I can't agree with you more because I remember those Blackhawk runs and like
I think I still have a handprint from Ivan because he bear hugged me and slapped my back when he bear hugged me. I literally think I have a handprint still on my back.
I'm pretty sure you do. My back is misaligned because he picked me up and shook me around like a rag doll. Ivan's a big, strong guy. He's a big, strong
he slapped my back and I was like, oh God, ow, what? Oh, like I was like, dude, and it stung for like a good 3 minutes. I was like,
yep. I'm gonna have to send him my chiropractor bill because my whole left side is all messed up again. He fixed it like the win before, and now he messed it up. So I don't know what happens. I need another Ivan bear hug. But hey, did you see that in the locker room, DJ Moore had a cheese grater hat?
Yes. Did you see Caleb Williams today?
Yeah, he gave it to Caleb Williams.
Caleb was handing out meals with P. Curl Armstrong from the Cubs. They were doing a handing out meals, and he was wearing the cheese grater today.
Yeah, that's funny.
But man, I wish we had the audio clip from DJ Moore's interview after the game, because as always, F the Packers.
F the Packers. Yeah, man. Man, it was such a roller coaster of emotions, and this is what the Bears do to you, man. You got to keep watching this team because it looks magical. Again, it feels like 2015, 2016 Cubs, 2005 White Sox, where the ball just bounces your way, the breaks are going your way, the calls are going your way. It feels magical, and if you don't believe right now in the Chicago Bears, well, jump off the bandwagon right now.
We do need to clean up penalties. I think
We have a lot of penalties.
Yeah, we were at one point during the game, we had, I think it was 9 penalties for like 100 yards. I don't know what ended up, what the final penalties and yardage ended up being, but I mean, that can't happen come playoffs.
Your team stats, let's see. Penalties, we were 4 for 17. 4 for 17. Yeah, that's what I said. 4 for 17. They were 6 for 55. Wait, am I getting that right? No, that's not it. That's the wrong game. That's the other Packer game. This thing kind of moved around. All right, let's refresh that. There we go.
Yeah, and then
that's this one.
I don't know where I'm at, but
there we go.
I don't see penalties in here. So
10 penalties for 105 yards. Unacceptable.
Oh,
there it is. Unacceptable. Yeah. Time of possession, 26 to their 38. Again, those are the things we talked about. If you run the ball, you take time of possession away from them. Penalties needs to be cleaned up as well. Third down efficiency, 2 for 11. Again, it was a very sloppy game. And again, we got the W. We're happy. We're not apologizing, but playing these upper echelon teams, this cannot happen. Excuse me. Next,
everything we talked about of time of possession in the pregame, we basically said we need to run the ball, establish the run, no matter what. It was a complete opposite. The Packers did everything that we said in the pregame. Like, they controlled the time of possession. They were controlling the first downs. They were controlling the rushing yards. I mean, I understand we had a defensive tackle get hurt earlier in the season, but we still have Billings, Dexter, and Grady Jarrett, and you're just sitting there watching them get blown up for 6-8 yards per rush, like, consistently. And it's one of those, especially when Malik Willis came into the game, you could have probably sold out a little more on the run game, especially because Malik Willis is a much more dangerous player running than he is passing.
Right.
So it's definitely one of those, like, I do feel like they could have probably sold out a little bit for the run game. But at the end of the day, we won. We will not apologize for winning. We'll take it.
Definitely take it. All right, we're going to take a break here. And on the flip side of the break, we're going to be talking about the Madhouse on Madison report about the Bulls and the Blackhawks. We got a little bit of news here and there. And then we will talk baseball because there's some news in baseball with our teams today. And we'll get you in and out. Hopefully we get out of here in another hour. Yeah, you guys watch the Bears or football game. But, we're going to take a break. Be back.
Hey there, Chicago enthusiasts. Are you ready to take your fandom to the next level? The True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast has got you covered with some serious cool merch that screams Chicago pride. From cozy sweaters to trendy tank tops, we got it all. Show off your love for the city with our iconic red, white, and blue logo, or stand out with our exclusive collection for the love of sports. Whether you're lounging at home, breaking a sweat at the gym, or cheering on your team at a game, our gear is a must-have for all you diehard Chicago sports fans out there. Don't hesitate. Visit bonfire.com/store/606-media-store/ or simply just click the link in the description and snag your gear ASAP. Get ready to make some noise, show your pride, and embrace the Chicago spirit with True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast merch. Designed for you, the ultimate fan, for the love of sports.
Hey guys, it's Steven.
And this is Sean, and you are listening to True Chicago Sports Fans.
Don't forget to listen to No War on the Weekend. New episodes on Monday. You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Yeah, so we're going to go do a couple of shots. So let's kick it back over to Big Z.
Back to the TCSF podcast with Big Z in the house. We got JC, Dynasty Fantasy Football. And it is time to talk about the Madhouse on Madison report. The Bulls beat Atlanta 152-150. One of the highest scoring games of the NBA season. 9 Bulls scored in double figures. Montes Buzelis led the team with 28. The Bulls have improved to 13-15 with a 3-game winning streak. They beat the Cavs twice, and now they beat Atlanta. Giddey flirted with a double-double again with 19 points. And, he got a double-double, 19 and 12. Kobe White has been slowly building some rhythm with the team. He had 21 in the win. The Bulls shot 58%. It's clicking at the right time, trying to get rolling. But let's be honest with this team. They're going to be trading pieces left and right. And as soon as these players get hot, the ones that are not going to be here next year, if you designate them not to be part of your core going forward, if it's not Giddey and Buzelis, you got to start trading, JC.
Yeah, I don't know when the trade deadline is.
It's around February.
Okay, so I mean, we still got time, but yeah, I mean, listen, I mean, Vucevic last game, or not last game, but the game before in Cleveland, scored 24 points, right? Like, that is like pretty good, and it's like one of those where, you know what, we might want to move him. He had 15 rebounds that game as well. I mean, and then against Atlanta here. I mean, what is with these scores?
Oh,
I mean, does anybody play defense anymore?
No. These 2 last games, there was no defense being played.
Because I'm looking at 127 to 111, 136 to 125, 152 to 150. If these games didn't go into OT, like, nobody's playing defense anymore. Like, this is just a chuck up a shot and run back the other way.
As we've seen, this is what the Bulls do. They chuck up shots and then run back. Looking at where's my rebounds? Giddey with 9, Vucevic with 5. How are you the center and only have 5 rebounds? How does your guard?
Yeah.
You have 9.
Yeah.
This makes no sense. Zach Collins, I know he's kind of like a in between guy. He had 7. Like, oh, let me see. Where's our boy? Oh, he had 4. Patrick Williams had 4. He also had 9 minutes. Thank God. I'm glad they're diminishing his minutes.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, this is just, I don't know. Like I said, I grew up in the era watching Jordan and good defense and everything of the nature. Like I said, the new NBA, I'm not a fan. Like, all the rest time for the players, all the ridiculousness of, and I understand, like, statistics people will tell you that it's better for you to just chuck up a shot and run the other way. But, you know what I mean? Like, because you're getting more chances at shooting rather than running like actual set plays. I get it, but at the same time, like, I don't know. Like, the new style of basketball, it just doesn't really entertain me very much.
No, it's not entertaining because they don't play half court or real basketball until the last 4 minutes of the game if it's close. In the playoffs, same thing. I mean,
that's probably why I loved, like, the Thibodeau years with the Baby Bulls, because you had Noah, you had some of those guys that they played defense still.
Well, if you didn't play defense, you ain't playing.
Right.
Simple as that.
And like I said, nowadays it seems like there's no team out there in the NBA that plays defense. Maybe 2 or 3.
Maybe Oklahoma City. I don't know. Let me see, because Oklahoma City has like lost 1 or 2 games or something like that. Let's see the standings. Pistons are 22-6 very quietly. The Knicks are 20-8 on the Eastern Conference. On the Western Conference, the Thunder are 25-3, and the only team they lost to, I think they lost to the Spurs and someone else.
And all of a sudden they're way better.
Look at how good the Spurs are right now. Yeah. And if one of these 2 teams does trade for Giannis, watch out. The Thunder have abundance of picks. This would be the time to use all those picks and get yourself a Giannis to close.
Okay, so Do you believe that the Bulls were actually really contacted
N-
by Giannis and
No.
his team,
No,
and we said no, we're not interested?
I do not believe that for a second. Second of all, these idiots in that front office would not be able to handle that transaction correctly. They would give up the farm for the next 40 years, kind of like the parking here in Chicago, where you give it up for such a small substantial amount, and now you're paying.
Or are they so afraid that they would do that they were like, no, we're not interested? Like we know we're gonna drop the bag and screw this up, so we'd rather not even entertain it.
Or ownership shut it down and said, "Hey, these guys are probably not going to be here for the next rebuild. So why would I get a new GM after I just got the superstar who was complaining about the GM over there not getting him players?" I don't know. There's an abundance of different reasons, but I highly doubted that anybody in the NBA that's a superstar wants to come to Chicago. The only way to get to Chicago is via trade, and they're over the hill, or they'll sign for 1 year and then get flipped or whatever. But no one's trying to come to the Chicago Bulls. They are a mess of an organization that has the stench of the last 20 years of not doing right by the players. So no one's going to come here. Okay, end of story. No one's going to come here. So let them trade everybody and start drafting. But again, this front office, I do not believe in. And the Bulls are just going to be the same thing year after year. They've got to prove it to Chicago that they are not the same organization, and it doesn't happen until there's changes at the top, all the way at the top. So, switching over to the Blackhawks.
Yeah, I'm looking at the 2026, 2027 active roster cap for the Bulls, and I'm
Everyone's
trying to
gonna be
see here.
Half the team is gone.
Yeah, but I was trying to see like what we cap space would be. Almost 89 million.
Yeah, you can sign a max
So,
player.
I mean, yeah, that's plenty enough to bring in, if not one max player, to bring in two players,
Two mid-level players.
of a high caliber.
Mm-hmm. You could do it, and add them to Giddey and Buzelis.
Yeah,
and you can literally patch work the bench. You can do it. Are they going to be able to do it? No, they've shown you who they are. They've shown you that when Alonzo went down, they had no answers for that. They didn't make any moves for 18 months or whatever. It's total garbage. It's total garbage, man. AK and Mark Eversley. Mark Eversley literally has the best job because you've never seen him. You've never. I don't know what it looks like.
yeah. I mean, like I said, we know the Patrick Williams situation is. I mean, Jesus, he's taken up 10% of your entire cap space, and he's useless. But he's still going to be on the team next year, and basically, yeah, you have Giddey, Patrick Williams, Okoro, Jalen Smith, Trey Jones, Buzelis, Assange, and Julian Phillips. That's it. That's all you have on the team.
And if you can get rid of Patrick Williams, and then if all those guys that have expiring contracts, get them. Get some picks from them. Don't let them walk for no reason. You've got to get something out of them, especially if they're playing well. I love Vooch. I love Vooch as a player, and I think the offense should be running through him. He should have a double-double every single game. Him and Giddey should have a double-double every single game. But they don't run the type of offense. They want a run and gun, which suits Giddey a little bit better. But if no one's rebounding the ball, which is not a very strong rebounder, he gets a rebound because of second chance points. Like someone misses and he just puts it back in. But he's not an aggressive rebounder that you can count out for 12 to 15. That's not him. He plays at Giannis, he'll have 4. He once you play one of the big guys, it just doesn't happen. I mean, I want to touch on the Blackhawks really quick. They've lost 5.
Touch on that, yeah.
Another team that's just they lost 5.
Yeah,
they had more injuries.
The hilarious thing with the Blackhawks is like I'm constantly at work in the evening, and it's like, all right, face off against Blackhawks and so team, and then it's like after the first, it'll ping me like Blackhawks up 2-0, and then it'll ping me like Blackhawks lose 4-2, and I'm just like constantly like, what just happened?
Yeah, well, Bedard and Nazar are both out. So I mean, you've got your two leading guys on offense out.
Yeah.
They're not going to be back till maybe like end of January, early February.
Yeah, I know they were going to reevaluate sometime after the new year with Connor Bedard.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about that since. Oh, he had Nazar hit in the face by a puck, out 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Oof. You know what? And
Keep him
listen,
up. I'm good
you
with
know
it.
what? Call me a pansy all you want. I think I would still be wearing a cage even in the NHL.
Yeah,
I know it's not the flashy thing to do as an NHL hockey player, but you know what? I like my teeth. You know what? I like, my face
I
not
like my face.
getting hit by a hard rubber puck that they they freeze the pucks, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. My dad actually knew one of the guys that worked like the penalty box for years.
Okay.
So like, we'd go to a game and the guy would come out, say hi to my dad, give him a couple pucks. And like literally he would hand us pucks and like they'd be frozen. And like you're sitting there doing the hot potato because like your hands are cold with this frozen puck. But it's like, dude, you sit there and like it's a freaking hard ass puck. And it's like, I'm sorry. If I were an NHL player, I think I'd be wearing a cage. To protect my still ugly, but precious face.
Yeah, I got one that I bought for like military appreciation. I don't know who it is, but I got a QR code that tells me who it is. Put that away. I do have a what do I have? Either Taves or a Kane signed puck somewhere, and I got these. So like anytime next time we go to a hockey game, let's take them down and see if somebody can sign them.
Yeah,
I'm ready. I'm ready.
but again, I think I'd be wearing a cage. I'm sorry. You know what? Look, it might be the most uncool thing ever, but and I give respect to the hockey players, man. Like they like it's like a badge of honor to have their teeth knocked out and everything. And but for me, like,
I'm
sorry,
sorry.
I want to eat a steak. I want to.
Exactly. I want to be able to chew. You're right. I don't want to look like Jake Paul. You see what?
Oh, did you see the AI video I sent you of that earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, he's laying in his hospital bed. Man, you were supposed to stop hitting me when I hugged your leg.
Oh man. Well, he got paid, so he's got good health insurance. Let's talk some
I don't know if
baseball.
he has good health insurance or not, but he's got the money to pay for the health
That's what I'm
insurance.
saying. He's got health insurance, got money. He's got money.
Yeah. Supposedly, someone was saying that there was a clause, like no knockout clause or something, and they basically blew it off and basically said like, nah, it's more important I knock this guy out than care about like the no knockout clause. I'll take less money, but I have to have my self respect.
That's what Tyson should have done. Tyson should have been the one to knock him out. That would have been a lot better.
Yeah, I still think something's, me and Ivan were talking about how we need to have a podcast about all the funkiness of the NFL and sports betting and how, there's some weird things going on with the sports betting world. And
like last Thursday's NFL game, yeah, with Seattle.
Or how the Tennessee Titans score a touchdown, all of a sudden is called back on something after the play was already over and everything else. And it's like, wait. How do you now call a penalty?
Because the guy didn't report. They say that the guy didn't report as eligible. And
right.
you see
but
him.
There's video evidence of him
like
reporting and
like
the refs acknowledging that he was reporting. Yes.
Yep.
And so it's one of those where it's like, there's more and more evidence building that, it may not be to your benefit to sports bet.
No, definitely not. I'm sorry if I didn't check the comments today, guys. Caleb Hubbard, Myles Garrett coming to Chicago. I would love that. But we have to move some cap room around for that.
I was gonna say let's take a look. I don't.
No, we don't have the cap room.
Yeah, no, we definitely don't. I mean, I know that much because we signed Grady Jarrett and Dio, and those two guys are taking up way too much.
Especially Dio. All right. While you're doing that, I'm going to look at what the Cubs have been doing in the past month. The Chicago Cubs did sign somebody today. They signed a catcher, I believe. Yep. They signed Christian Betancourt to a minor league deal. He's a catcher. And in recent weeks, the Cubs have signed first baseman Tyler Austin. Caleb Sybar is coming back. Hobie Meyer. Let's see. They signed free agent for Funel James, Esme Bean, Guerrero, Ruben Torres, Johan Gomez. They signed a bunch of guys to minor league contracts. In the Rule 5 draft, they picked up Adam Stone, Devin Ortiz, not David Ortiz, Zane Mills, Nico Zeglin, and Sam Metart, whatever. Not a lot of moves. What happened to the Cubs signing all the big players? They're not doing anything. The Cubs are not doing anything, and it's getting frustrating on the north side. You're looking at
I mean, I think what did we say they had 60 million close to in cap space, and we have not signed. I know, there's some other podcasters out there who we know and love, and we've had them on in the past talking about that they're excited for some of the bullpen people that we have signed. But you know what? It's not the splash that, Cubs fans want or expect. And I don't know if it's just that the Cubs are admitting that, hey, we can't beat the Dodgers with everything they're doing in the way of, manipulating salaries and whatever. But it's one of those where, dude, like, go out and get, and I understand we're in the running for one of the pitchers from Japan. So I think we're kind of waiting on that. But while we're sitting here waiting for word from that pitcher, we are missing out on a lot of guys.
Yes,
and it's one of those where, I'm sorry, like I'm not gonna hold my breath that we're gonna sign this Japanese pitcher and it's gonna work out. Like, I would rather go ahead and sign a guy and get him on the team now rather than hold my breath.
Right. And then you also have Framber Valdez that they keep saying that the Cubs are into, but the Orioles have been a hot pursuit. They picked up Pete Alonso. They made some other signs. So, the Orioles are trying to go for it in the AL East. As you know, the AL East is going to be very competitive with Boston and New York. And now with them, it's going to be a problem. There's not a lot of good, unless you go and get finally you get Verlander at 43, Patrick Corbin at 36. Zach Gelling would be a good addition. Chris Bassett at 37. You got a bunch of older guys. I mean, even Framber Valdez is 32. You can get Giolito at 30 years old. Adrian Hauser signed with San Francisco. You can't get him. Nestor Cortez is 31. Hendricks is retired. Let's see who else. Quintana's 37. Savali's 31. And then it just drops off as far as talent. There's not a lot of good talent after that. So for pitchers, there's not much out there. Designator hitters, you can probably get Ozuna, but I don't think you need a designator hitter. I think outfield and infielders are pretty much set. It's just pitching. The Cubs need pitching, man.
Yeah, you know what? We could maybe use like a utility guy, that could play multiple spots.
You've got those. You've got those.
But again, that's the only thing to me. Like, we have Shaw at third base, we got Swanson, we got Bush, we got, like I said, you go around pretty much every spot. I mean, other than losing Tucker in the offseason, it's kind of like, okay, who fills Tucker's spot out there in the outfield?
Still hasn't been signed.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if he comes back?
You might be asking too much, it's
he is asking for too much. And they're gonna wait it out.
Let's see.
Yeah, you got first base, you got Bush, catcher, you got Ballesteros and Kelly and Amaya. Horner and Shaw can play second base, third base. Matt Shaw. That's. I mean, he got better over the season, so we'll stay with that. Dansby Swanson, obviously solid at short. Left field is Ian Happ. Center is Picor Armstrong. Right field, Seiya Suzuki. You guys still have Kevin Alcantara. You have Owen Casey. You've got some players to move around in the outfield. That's what I'm saying. Your outfield is log jammed with talent. Your infield is pretty much set. I think you would need a better catcher. I think you would need more bullpen and one more starting pitcher, because I don't really believe your starting pitchers are going to be able to withstand the entirety of the season. With Imanaga signing his qualifying offer, you have Kate Horn, Jameson Taillon, Matthew Boyd, Colin Ray, Javier Assad, and Justin Steele's coming back. So I don't know. The Cubs are kind of weird right now.
Yeah, it's like I said, I'm literally sitting here looking at, free agents, designated hitters, Eloy Jimenez,
Yeah, that kid's almost out of baseball. No.
right fielders, you're sitting there looking at like Kyle Tucker with his age, and then there's a Will Brennan at 27. Otherwise, everybody's 30 years or older. You're looking at 34, 31, 33, 35, 35. So, I mean, really, Tucker at 29 years old and Will Brennan, 27 years old, you got Jason Hayward. Yeah. Who's going to sign him? Then you sit here and look at like starting pitchers. There's plenty of people out there. There's, Ranger Suarez is still out there.
Yeah, but what do you want? You want inning eaters, or you want guys that are going to be dependable?
I mean, I'd like to have a guy that can, go out there and at least hit 5-6 innings.
Then sign Verlander. He can do 5-6 innings. He's already getting paid by 4 different teams, so he doesn't need the money. So you can probably get him for cheap. And if you have if you're can promise that you're gonna have a winning outlook as far as what you're trying to do and trying to at least win the Central and if not the division, the NL the NL pennant, maybe you can get him for cheap. I know.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like a guy 5-6 innings that can. But I mean, I need him to not give up 6 runs in those 5-6 innings. Yeah,
it's tough.
It's rough, man. Because like I said, it's Shota's back. He was the only one. Merrill Kelly and Kyle Hendricks and who else? Soroka, Woodruff, Albert Suarez. Like most of these guys, I'm reading guys that have already signed. Dustin May, Paul Blackburn, and a lot of these guys are 1-year deals.
Mm-hmm.
1 year. Not many out there for a multi-year.
Yeah. So it's tough for the Cubs right now, and I can see why the frustration is definitely building. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, look, as a Cubs fan, it's one of those where, other than the fact that we've lost Tucker, it's one of those where, like, we're pretty much rolling with the same team we had.
We're in the back. Yep.
Obviously, Justin Steele, who's coming back from injury.
Right.
God knows what he's going to be coming back. His injury was pretty early in the season last year. And had, surgery. Do we see him back at some point this season? I don't know.
Yeah, they're still up in the air. Definitely still up in the air. All right, well, good luck to the Cubs, because they need it if they're they open their window and they're trying to compete. It's tough.
I don't think they're going to. I mean, that's the problem with like the Cubs, like basically all of Chicago owners is that, hey, we're just good enough to bring in mass amounts of people and sell tickets and sell food and sell everything else. but it's like they don't have the balls to put the money down to put a championship together.
Mm-hmm.
And I look, I give the Ricketts the credit because they did go out and get Chapman and we did win a World Series. But it would be nice that, we can consistently be going for a World Series, 3, 4, 5, 6 years in a row rather than just one and done.
Unless you're the Blackhawks. The Blackhawks are the only team that, ever since the Bulls in the 90s that has sustained success. Everyone else has been one and done. So
yeah, and even the Blackhawks, there were years in between the championships. And hey, look, especially, we talk about hockey, like they have a very small salary cap and it's very hard to manage a hockey salary cap where, you may win 3, 4 years in a row and then you're going to be in the doghouse for 4 or 5 years rebuilding because your cap got out of control.
Yep.
Like I said, we're sitting here looking at the Cubs. They have the money and they need to stop acting like, and I understand they put a lot of money into the infrastructure, into rebuilding Wrigley underneath. They've done a lot of work in the field.
That is all done. That's all over with.
They're building hotels. They're buying all kinds of property in and around Wrigley. There's more to it than just that.
You can't pay steal from Peter to pay Paul, and that's what the Cubs are doing. They put their money into the Cubs. They're like, oh, you know what? We're gonna get a World Series. Cool, we got the World Series. All this money came in. Now we're buying the neighborhood. All right, we're buying all the high rises. We're buying we built a hotel. We're taking over the what is that called? The what is that called outside the stadium with the stands?
Oh, I know what you're talking about, but I can't.
Yeah, those buildings outside Wrigley where you were supposed to be able to watch the game, and they put all these things around it to block it, or they bought all of them but one. Yeah, that's they're being greedy.
Oh, you're talking about the Wrigleyville rooftops. I thought
the rooftops.
I thought you were talking about the area outside of Wrigley where it's like basically they have all the bags going pregame and
that's fine. That's game entertainment. I can care less about that. What I'm saying is they bought the entire neighborhood.
Yeah.
And then you cried poor when the pandemic hit. Well, obviously you hedged yourself into a bad situation where you bought everything and then no money was coming in. Okay.
Yeah, you leverage
years. It's been 5 years. Money has come in, okay? Money has come in. I don't want to hear that this team is crying poor. They should be competing with the Dodgers year after year after year. There's no other team that has the pockets for it. Simple as that. It's probably in the NL. There's no other teams that have the pocket for it.
I mean, we would have better pockets if the White Sox would, go to Gary, Indiana.
Wow. You can go to Gary, Indiana. Speaking of the White Sox, they made a splash signing and Munetaka Murakami. He's an infielder from the KBO. 2 years, $34 million deal. He was announced and presented today in a press conference. He hit 265 home runs in 1,000 games in Japan, but also had a high strikeout rate of 1,068. He will be playing first space. He's going to be significant in the lineup. He's got some pop, and he was not even mentioned in the where will this guy go? Because today was the deadline, or yesterday was the deadline to sign him. His window was closing, so the Yankees and Dodgers and everybody was supposed to be in on him, and apparently they just didn't like either his strikeout rate or the money for him. He is 25, and we're gonna have him for 2 years. That'll be this year, and it probably won't be next year because next year is going to be a strike, and that one after year after that. So I think it's going to be a good addition. What did you have to lose? You have the money to spend. I think the payroll was like at 40 million at some point, I think right before this. And then there's also rumors of Luis Robert Jr. being traded. That was reported about an hour and a half ago before we started. Cincinnati's hot on him, and it is another team that would be trading for him. So Lou Bob needs a new scenery, and thanks for whatever you did for us, but he needs a new scenery. The White Sox also traded for left fielder Tristan Peters from the Tampa Bay Rays last week for cash. They signed Joseph Yabor to a minor league contract. He's a right-handed pitcher. Oliver Dunn, a third baseman, to a minor league contract. Tim Elko is back on a minor league contract. This might be his last run to see if he can do it. He was injured last year and wasn't able to stay on the main roster. Let's see. They claimed Ryan Rollison off waivers from Atlanta. He's a left-handed pitcher. We know how we love our left-handed pitching. Jackson Kelly in the Rule 5 draft. We got Jadexon Paez, also from the Rule 5 draft. Alexander Alberto and Peyton Pallette, all from the right-handed pitchers in the Rule 5 draft. So they're pretty busy filling in holes. Lots of pitchers, and I mean, it's a splash for the White Sox. That's a big signing for the White Sox. Come on. JC's like, I don't care.
No, I was looking up some other things because we were talking about how the Cubs are cheap asses, and one of the things I had seen it before, and I pulled it up right now. The 2024 revenue for the Cubs was $584 million, which is third amongst all MLB teams, but they spent $213 million towards payroll and taxes, which was 14th in the league.
14th.
Overall, they have the Cubs listed at 26th in the way of payroll to revenue percentages, and it's one of those where that's not good enough.
No,
the Mets were at number one. Their revenue is $444 million, and they're paying out $400 million.
Yeah, because he's trying to win.
Yeah, and this is the problem we have with the Cubs, is and not to steer away from your White Sox, again, you're making $584 million, and then you're crying that we don't have the money.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I told you.
No, to talk about your big news, you signed the Japanese he's a third baseman, isn't he? I believe.
No, he's a first baseman. He has played outfield. He has played right field, but he's going to be our first baseman.
Okay, because I know there was a big talks about a Japanese player coming potentially over, but I thought he was a third baseman.
You might be right. I'm clicking on Murakami. Yeah, and it says infielder, bats left, throws right, 6'2", 213. Nothing on that. Yeah, over here on this article. Let's see, what does Jesse Rogers say about him? Yeah, it just says he's going to be playing first base. I mean, I can pull up his statistics. Let's see. Close that.
Yeah, Tatsuya Imai, right-handed pitcher. Murakami? Is that who you guys signed?
Yeah, Murakami.
Yeah, he's a third baseman.
Yeah, he's switching over to first base because we got a third baseman. And that's the thing with the White Sox, and I know AJ Przinsky on Foul Territory has been saying that they should have went after Kyle Schwarber, and I wanted Kyle Schwarber, believe me, but they weren't going to overpay for him. He's talking more about we need more veteran presence to help out with the young kids and show them how to be big leaguers, and I understand that. Your catchers,
yeah, I mean, I wish the Cubs had gone after Schwarber as well, brought him back. We should have never let him walk in the first place.
No, he wanted $8 million at that point.
Yeah, like I said, we never should have let him walk in the first place. But would have been nice to have his bat in the lineup, even though again, he's not much of a player on the field.
He can play first base. He plays pretty decent first base. Just he's below average, but he's not going to mess up. But yeah, he's your DH. He's your softball leadoff hitter. The catchers, we talked about, like the White Sox have Kyle Teo, Carroll, and Corey Lee. Kyle Teo was wanted back by the Red Sox. They were trying to get him all through the GM meetings, and the White Sox said, go kick rocks. And then Boston ended up trading for Wilson Contreras from St. Louis. So they got their catcher. The infielders, we've got Chase Madroff, Colson Montgomery, and now Murakami. So Murakami's going to be played first. You've got Madroff at second, Montgomery at short. Looks like Lanin Sosa and Brian Ramos and Miguel Vargas will be swapping out third base. I don't believe in any of those guys at third base yet. And again, and the White Sox got the #1 pick. And if they pick up that shortstop, Colson Montgomery's moving to third. I'm telling you that right now, because that kid's way better. Way better.
I was going to say, I was just looking up the MLB draft date, July 12th through the 13th. Trying to see because, White Sox, UCLA, shortstop. How do you say that name? Cholowski?
Yeah, it is Cholowski. Yeah, it's Rock Cholowski. Come on, that's perfect. Perfect for the White Sox. Rock Cholowski. Yeah, he's been, I've seen a bunch of interviews with scouts, his coach, and all that stuff. And they're saying, like, he's in the last 15 years, there hasn't been a #1, like a collective #1 infielder where they're like, yeah, that's the dude. And then there's like 10 spaces after that, where the next 10 guys, they might make it, but this guy's a solid, going to be a first rounder, going to be playing within, the 6 months or a year. He's probably do 1 year in the minor leagues and then come up.
Yeah, well, Moneyball says different, so you never know until you know what you know.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that's always the thing with the contracts, right? You want an extra year of control, so they'll probably keep him down for that 1 year. Again, we talked about Luis Robert being on the trade hot stove, so look out for that. We'll post it if it happens on our Facebook page. But I'm good right now, bro. I'm good. There's no wrestling to talk about because there's no John Cena. So
there's plenty of wrestling to talk about in the fact that Gunther had a little bit of a pop the night after.
you got to talk about the boos. He got booed out of the building. Yeah,
which hey, good on him to play it up. And he leaves the ring, then comes back in the ring to put it in their faces a little more.
Yeah, it was trolling.
Yeah, but yeah, not a whole lot to talk about.
There's not a lot to talk about with wrestling. I mean, I think Dominic Mysterio got hurt down in Mexico doing a AAA event. That's it. There's nothing else. There's nothing to talk about wrestling. And if there is, I'll bring it up next week. But there's nothing much. But
yeah,
I'm tired. I didn't even work today. I'm tired. I'm on vacation. This is awesome.
Yeah, must be nice.
It is nice. It is nice.
Meanwhile, I get to wake up early in the morning tomorrow and go to my doctor and find out what the heck else is going on wrong with me in my old age.
Yeah, that's when it starts happening. All right, JC. We'll talk to you soon. I know you're not going to be there this Sunday at Casa Humilde, but we'll see if we can get that audio issue fixed. So project.
Yeah, we'll see. Also, I guess we could talk about fantasy football championships.
Does that mean
it's you versus me?
It is. It's official.
Well, I mean, it's. I don't know about you, but I had like an 89%, win probability ratio.
Well, I'm pulling it up right now,
and that was long before Purdy scored 2 touchdowns.
Football. Where's my stuff at?
Let's see. Yep, you have a 99%. I have 99%.
Oh, 213 to 195. Yeah, it's pretty much a done deal.
Yeah, I'm 227 to 160.
So how about that? The guy that was been making fun of for his team. Look at that.
Versus me. So we'll have to talk off air if we're gonna make a deal here. Or...
yeah, we can talk off air. We don't want to conspiracy.
No colluding on air, you know.
No colluding on air like the refs in the NFL and NBA.
But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Your two boys right here, 1-2 or 2-1 in our fantasy league. There you go. We kind of know what we're doing sometimes. You know, it's a rough league. You know, I don't give any bye weeks in the championships. The number one guy in our league got booted week 1 of the playoffs.
Yep, he did.
You know, there's no weeks off in my league. You want to win a championship, you better come prepared for 3 weeks in a row to win a championship. So, that said, you know, I look forward to our matchup next week. Hopefully I can get Devontae Adams back, or, you know, a couple more players, because I was not thrilled with some of the performances by my guys this week, putting up like 6 points, 5.3 points. But basically, like Stafford, McCaffrey, Barkley, and surprisingly, Ramondre Stevenson came through. There was an injury there with Travion Henderson, so Stevenson got more playing time. So,
yeah, thank God for Burrow. Thank God if Burrow came back. That's the only reason I won.
Yeah, no, like I said, it's been all quarterback play on my team. Brock Purdy's at basically 30 points right now. I mean, dude, even my defenses did not put up many points this week. But
I've been playing with nothing but backup quarterbacks as my on my offense. I have Jacoby Brissett right now because my quarterbacks went down early or retired. So I made a hodgepodge pasting and gluing and taping of a team, and we're there. We're kind of like the Bears. My team is kind of like the Bears, playing with house money. So either way, I'm second place or first place. So it doesn't matter. I'm excited.
Yeah, I literally walked in my house last night, put my arms out, was like, give respect to your champion.
All right, y'all. That is it for today. Thank you for the fans, for listening, for watching, for showing up at our live events. We really, really, really appreciate that. Everybody that came out this past weekend, it was a packed house. People bought merch. People took pictures with us. People were watching on their cell phones. Thank you, all you guys, for supporting us through 279. It's probably like 400 episodes at this point with all the Bears stuff. Thank you to our sponsor, 66 Media, True Chicago Sports Fans. And you can check us out on our socials. They're right there. Remember to subscribe and share our YouTube channel. And if you have something to talk about, whether it's wrestling, fantasy football, baseball, hockey, basketball, all of that, hit us up at True Chicago Sports Fans at Gmail, or DM one of us. You can see his DM him.
Somewhere right about
whatever. DM him. For JC, I am Big Z, and we'll see you next time for episode 280. But we're gonna be at Casa Humilde this Sunday for that Bears game, 7:20. So until then, be good to each other for the love of sports.